awesome. Moving through the city like it's Gotham. They told me get one, so I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you're not one. You ain't sacrificed, nah, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. How you know the flow, got him coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm unattached. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Aight.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move.
3, 2,
Bringing summer
1,
to
drop.
you.
Oh, ready, let's go. Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round. Yo, hold up, let me switch my flow up. Back in high school, they were telling me I'll blow up. Doing talent shows and man, everyone will show up. Got in an accident and still made it for them to go nuts. You know what? I'm so what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide. And with the rhymes that make the dimes, I'll close their eyes and fantasize. I'm divine calling their phone number. No, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats. On stage just for their ones gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young, black, successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you want it, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move.
3, 2,
Bringing summer
1,
to
drop.
you.
Oh, ready, let's go. Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it round the world and back again. Ready, let's go. Cause you know like I know. We'll take it round and round again.
Yeah. Ay, push start, ay. Ball so hard, ay. Raise the bar, ay. Turn into a star, ay. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard? Ayy, what about too hard? Ayy, about too hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry as a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders, ayy. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping is basic, skipping is classic. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we countin' them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard? Ayy, what about too hard? Ayy, about too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this, don't like surprises. I cause a crisis, man, I'm a scientist. With the music I spice things, up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my nigga from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you'll have no career. Taking good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. This is fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime, but can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said
Rich and high. Lex. Yeah. Yo. Got the army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. I got a couple dickies chilling in my room who be shaking it like the twerk team. Ladies, show me where them curves be. Curious, I'm not pervy. Honestly, you and your best friend could go and develop a new twerk scene. Got the army with me like Xerxes. Army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. Understand you can't hurt me. I got the army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. I got a couple dickies chilling in my room who be shaking it like the twerk team.
surrounded by wet chicks, passing that sticky, we smoking that Vestas. Yeah, God, you know we do it. One showing off, yo, we come to cruise ship. Yeah, it's that A6M. I see you hate, but you rating them. Don't make sense like paying with card. Who do you know that's slaying this hard? Beats be banging, we making this God. Have your girlfriend run straight to my yard and have her up in my bed. Yup, 20 minutes, I'm dead. I tell her, okay, leave. No Snapchat or back chat, please. What color is your backpack? Yep, green. Tell your boyfriend he's a white twat G. Shake it. Shake it. Shake it. Let's go. Army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. Got a couple dickies chilling in my room. We'll be shaking it like the twerk team. Lady, show me where them curves be. Curious, I'm not pervy. Honestly, you and your bestie could go and develop a new twerk scene like. Shaking it like a twerk. Shake it.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you want it to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Born like a fire in the eye of a hurricane, always told stay in line, be alright, better play it safe. I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I've passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again, dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Fly so high they can't touch us. So top notch, none above us. We done came so far, now we up now. Had a vision, stuck to it, never back down. Never had much, now we on the whole thing. Spread it all around the world, watch it all change. Came alive, now they all see the greatness. Light shine so hard they can't take it.
Dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive.
I walk a different path, nothing can hold me back. I passed the point of no return, something is calling me, it's in the air that I breathe. Bring me back to life again, dancing with my fear, burning with desire. We gon' take it to the edge and come alive. Go to hell and back just to feel the fire. We gon' turn up in this place and come alive.
Come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime. Come alive, come alive, come alive in the nighttime.
Come alive.
High and rich, rich and high. Lex. Yeah. Yo, got the army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. I got a couple dickies chilling in my room who be shaking it like the twerk team. Ladies, show me where them curves be. Curious, I'm not pervy. Honestly, you and your best friend could go and develop a new twerk scene. Got the army with me like Xerxes. Army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. Understand you can't hurt me. I got the army with me like Xerxes. Understand you can't hurt me. I got a couple dickies chilling in my room who be shaking it like the twerk team. Shaking it like a twerk team. I'm in my room watching Netflix, surrounded by wet chicks, passing that sticky, we smoking that Vestas. Yeah, God, you know we do it. One showing off, yo, we come to Bruce it. Yeah, it's that A6M. I see you hate, but you rating them. Don't make sense like paying with card. Who do you know that's slaying this hard? Beats be banging, we making discard. Have your girlfriend run straight to my yard and have her up in my bed. Yup, 20 minutes, I'm dead. I tell her, okay, leave. No Snapchat or back chat, please. What color is your backpack? Yep, green. Tell your boyfriend he's a whack twat G. Shake it. twerk me like. Shaking it like twerk. Shake it.
Yeah. Ay, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry, it's a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders, ayy. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping is basic, skipping is classic. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we countin' them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this, don't like surprises. I cause a crisis, man, I'm a scientist. With the music I spice things, up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my nigga from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you'll have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What about too hard, ayy? What about too hard, ayy? About too hard.
Hold up your sign though, they ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. Show what you gon' do. They don't want all that. They don't want all that.
That sounds like a pop song.
Take a dive before you dry, y'all. It's the only way to live. You can't be without it, baby. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Try before you sign off. Shit can kill the sick. Real stuff. It's the only way to live. Fancy cars and the smiles of the ocean. Purple sky, let that night come with peace. Anywhere you wanna be. Anywhere you wanna be. Yeah, yeah. Hold up your sign though. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. They ain't count on that. Show what you gon' do. They don't want all that. They don't want all that. They don't want all that. pick a panel to be right on. Yeah. Cause no one really gives. Don't look back, I'll keep your eyes on. Long ago, long ago. Doesn't matter what it costs. Never gave a shit. Real soul. Love to take a hit. Hey. Who's getting high on emotion? Look around. People fight all their life for some peace. Yeah. Look around. Fancy cars and the smiles of the ocean. Purple sky.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Good evening and welcome to the Swisscom Hero League powered by ESL. It's time for evening number 2 already in terms of League of Legends here, as we're already full on in Season 5. We already completed all our CSGO matches, determined our finalists. There we have our finalists in Clash Royale, and all that's left to be found out is who will be the ones that will fight for the crown in Season 5. Tonight with me here once again and for the entirety of the week will be the one and only and very lovely Strawberry Pie.
Yes, I'm really stoked about tonight. So second quarterfinal game we're gonna have here tonight. And yeah, so this week is so plentiful of League of Legends. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just so nice to finally have, because usually they were more apart from each other, and now we're just like going every day at it, and that's what you like.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, we only have one break. That will be tomorrow evening. And then the teams, and of course also our team here at the studio, will have to be ready once again for the semi-finals. So you see, there's really no stopping for us, and it will be an exciting one. Also, of course, for you out there to watch. These are the two matches that are being played tonight. The Sunrise Enjoyers versus the Last Place Warriors. That's also the match you guys voted to see live on stream here tonight. So that will be the one that is coming right up. And off stream, in the meantime, we have No Org Needed versus Arisen Legacy. They will also be dueling it out for their respective and potential place in the semi-finals coming up on next Friday, actually. And I mean, exactly these kind of teams are the ones we're really looking forward to see. The Sunrise Enjoyers in this case is kind of reminiscent of Agon's gang we had in Season 1, who, caused quite a commotion, if I may say so. They had one or the other upset, nearly made it into the finals back then. So can they like follow up that performance, or will they be taken down by the Last Place Warriors, who, despite their name, made it into the top 8 here in the Swisscom Hero League Season 5. This is the bracket we currently got going on, and also a quick recap from the results of last night, where My Insanity swiftly took down the Romandie Super Team, and the Panda Lovers defeated the Dach Wildcard team with also a 2-0. So hopefully some longer series tonight, as we're soon heading into those games. What's like your wish to see out of the match coming up tonight?
I'm not sure we're gonna have that long games tonight. I don't know, because regarding the individual performance we have on the different plays, I mean, on the paper it's rather clearly says that that Sunrise Enjoyers should be ahead, and what I hope to see, because that's what we got to see in some occasions in the Swisscom Hero League, is that even though the numbers are not in favor of a team, they still manage to shake profoundly the adversaries.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of the beauty of League of Legends. There's only so much of an advantage that you can gain by just individual performance. In the end, you really have to win as that 5-man roster. So let's actually have a look how these two rosters are looking for the teams tonight. Last Place Warrior versus the Sunrise Enjoyers, starting with the ladder, with the Last Place Warriors. Beautiful artwork there, by the way, if I may say so, for their team
was some
logo.
budget in it.
Yeah, we have Pi in the top lane, Dreaming in the middle. We have Chef, maybe the one or the other familiar face out there. So from the caster desk back onto the Rift now as a mid laner here for the Last Place Warriors. And then in the bottom lane we have Wolf King together with Coach UFO. Who will be dueling it out down there. So quite a promising lineup. I mean, the upper half of the map, so to speak, certainly some known players in the Swiss scene. Why don't you take us through the Sunrise Enjoyers?
Yeah, as we usually have him on the top lane, there's Quadra, and joining him in this game in the jungle, Agon. And of course in the mid lane we have Zoom, and on the bot lane we're gonna have these two Snusdiff and Fill or Feed. And I think, as you might have mentioned right before, that the bot lane could be quite interesting this game.
Yeah, certainly so. And also here, I'd like to point out this artwork. While the Last Place Warrior ones was certainly more on the low budget side, this one is just the attention to detail here, sir, just fascinates me. They also teased on Twitter that if they made it into the semifinals, they might even release some merch. So I really like that view there. I mean, look at it. Just it's our dear friend Ramus looking at the sunrise in between two red team towers. I mean, what better view is there if you're heading onto Summoner's Rift?
Honestly,
yeah, well,
there is a fair competition here, and if they go for merch, I really might consider.
Yeah, it's like that's the minimalistic approach. That this is kind of true artwork that we got going on. So maybe also let us know in Twitch chat which of the two logos you do prefer, and whether you'd buy some merch for them and support them if whoever team will make it into the semis here tonight. You'd like to support. But anyways, we've seen it already yesterday. Kinda quite a bit of a moving away from the metas in part that we saw during like the big regions seasons and playoffs. Quite a difference in styles, especially when it came to drafting. Well, My Insanity in that case, they stuck a bit more to what we'd expect coming out from a team, but this also largely due to their heavy background in the competitive League of Legends sphere, of course. As tonight we also have kind of a mixture in that, which also of course makes it very interesting to see which picks they might opt into. I mean, when doing my research, I've seen that Dreaming plays a lot of Kha'Zix. That's like one of his most played champions. But more recently, he's taken a page out of the playbook from Yankos, who on his stream has played quite a bit of Diana lately, and also played that quite a bit. Plus, in addition to that, the Morgana in the jungle that we've seen come up more and more and more, who just got quite a significant buff in the last patch to her Tormented Soil, her W, that helps her so much in clearing those camps super fast.
Absolutely, and what I hope tonight we can see, as opposed to the fact that maybe we're gonna have a match between players that are a little lower in ranks on their individual accounts, but I think they still manage to have a quite wide pool of champions they might play with, and so are they really unlikely to run out of options even during this upcoming ban phase.
Yeah, I agree, because we've seen also... I mean, we have to refrain. I think we have to try and refrain from just calling them the Argon's gang, as they're like sailing under a new flag here as the Sunrise enjoyers. But overall, I mean, they are familiar with the whole setup. They've been to the Swisscom Hero League before. They nearly made it into the finals. I think they went down in the end. I'm not sure whether it was to Silent Gaming back then or to Postfinance Helix. But nevertheless, we're heading into the ban phase here. And yeah, I mean, let's see if today we might get more out of like the ordinary. Yeah, the Akali, they're coming out as that first ban, makes perfect sense into Zoom.
There's
and
the Kha'Zix
I already
expecting
mentioned it earlier. They will not let him have that. It's certainly a good idea on this kind of semi-professional level to target these kind of comfort picks, but then also very strong and kind of polarizing meta picks. For example, this Hecarim. And yeah, this puts us in the situation where the Udyr is very likely to be banned out too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that just leaves it open for the last place Warriors here to like first pick, very safe first pick. You don't give away too much. It's arguably still one of the, if not the strongest junglers, especially once that Hecarim is banned away. So great potential here already for the last place Warriors. And
there's the Diana going up. It's not gonna happen. Quite interesting. So no Trash ban, no Udyr ban. So I think those both picks might appear here in the first set of pickings.
Also, Seraphine being taken out here does make a lot of sense in my opinion. Oh, it's gonna be the Morgana here locked in as a first pick for the last place Warriors. Not sure whether that will be heading right into the jungle or they're still looking to flex it. It is of course also a champion that can be piloted in the mid lane or in bottom lane as a support, of course. And yeah, the Seraphine being taken away by the Sunrise Enjoyers also does make a lot of sense, because not only can that pick be flexed too very well, but like the biggest kind of elo difference we have is in that middle lane where Zoom is quite high elo, like just in the low masters division. And yeah, usually if you know you're going up against a player who's on paper or on an individual level better than you are, it just makes a lot of sense to go for these safe, wave clear, low econ kind of picks to then support your team in the end and play through the team fights rather than through the laning phase. And there, after those two lock-ins on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, we see the Tristana coming out. No big surprise there. Also, that one can, of course, still be flexed around. And the Bard is now being hovered. A bit of something out of the ordinary here, but does make a lot of sense in this matchup. Oh, it's gonna be the Blitzcrank! Hook City down in the bottom lane.
Okay, I think they're gonna respond with some ability on the AD carry because they really do not want to get anyone locked in anything. No, it's gonna be high damage output.
Yeah, they're just gonna throw down the gauntlet here and be like, you wanna go full aggression?
Let's do it.
We're gonna show you aggression. We're gonna have a brawl here in the bottom lane. I'm quite certain of that as we're heading into the second ban phase here for the side of the last place Warriors. The jungler has potentially, I mean, it's still unclear whether that Morgana will be heading into the mid or the jungle. I'm guessing it's the jungle, since Streaming has been training that quite a bit. Agon is very well known for his Jarvan, and I don't really see that going anywhere else. So those solo lanes being left up for grabs here as they do ban out the Sylas plus the Gnar. Gnar also one of the picks that we've seen rise up so much in popularity when it comes to competitive play. Such a huge impact with those ultimates. And as it seems, they are also assuming that Morgana will be going to the jungle as they take the Syndra off the board.
That's one other champ with a good wave clear going out. And
but
Chef gonna have to take something else.
Yeah, I mean, both Orianna and the Victor are still available, which are like the safe kind of picks. They might default to here as the Kassadin is banned. Now, that's quite interesting. There's the Orianna, so I think this will just trigger an answer in that Victor. We saw that matchup come out yesterday already. It's kind of the classic case where, okay, they're gonna lock in the Orianna, certainly a solid pick, but with the Victor you usually have that handled pretty well because you have the advantage of that early wave clear, and there it does come out and you can just shove her under. You're not really under any threat of dying to that Orianna, even though she of course has that big teamfight potential once she hits that 2 or 3 item power spike.
I really like where the composition is going on both teams here.
Yeah.
We have good engage, good disengage, good mobility, and honestly, we're closer to something that is really expected and that promising.
Yeah,
regarding to yesterday.
Yeah,
especially
much more. Well, as we're saying, like much more defaulting to the meta, as we have a Blitzcrank on one side of the Rift and the Draven on the other, plus the Jarvan that is. But with the Gragas, of course, that usually can also be used as a quite strong flex pick. If you're a Vietnamese jungler, you might even still play it in the jungle. But other than that, we mostly see him in the top lane these days, or even as a support. But now it's the Vayne here that's locked in for the Sunrise Enjoyers that will be going into the top lane. So quite a hit or miss pick up there. Can certainly bully the Gragas quite well, but he has that sustain. He can clear from range with his Q and will be able to keep up in terms of CS, and of course is very vulnerable to potential ganks, because I mean, Morgana, she just has to walk in there with a red buff, start auto-attacking the Vayne, put the black shield on herself, and she can't be knocked away. And then just, if that Dark Binding lands, you're just dead.
You're gone.
Like flash body slam setting up a play like that, that's just easy money right there. And if that Gragas gets ahead, it will be near impossible for that Vayne to bounce back into the game.
So let's see how this game is gonna roll out. I think on the side of Sunrise and Joyous, we're gonna have a lot of focus on the jungle, as because we know that Agon is really known for being quite impactful, quite also, you know, like, I don't want to use the term coin flip, but either he is really impactful or he falls so far behind he struggles to come to be useful.
Yeah, that's usually the story of Agon. Glad you point that out again, because that's how we've seen him as a player. Like, he's really the one that can dictate the pace of the game so well. Question is, will he even be able to do that? Because like in the early early minutes of this game, the Tristana will always have the priority in this matchup, just due to the passive of her E. And yeah, I mean, either Thresh and the Draven go full on aggression mode and try to like brawl it out early, or they will always be pushed in. Same goes in the mid lane. We've seen that yesterday already. The Victor, especially once he upgrades his laser, is just able to push it in permanently and then be faster to those rotations whenever there is an objective up for grabs. And then in the top lane, probably the biggest question mark here in this game coming up, because that is super volatile. If Pi is able to stabilize that matchup, not die to like the early Vayne damage, get those first kind of couple of components to his name, I mean, he might even go full on AP against something like a Vayne and just blow her up, because there's not really much he can do in order to retaliate properly, and he always has that that added security of the explosive cast if things get dicey and he needs to disengage.
Absolutely. I feel like this game is kind of not last very long. On either sides, there is so much potential for fast scaling and outperforming the other team. But yeah, let's see how this is gonna roll out. I mean, I'm really gonna have a look on this bot lane, because I think both have a huge potential of pressuring the other lane. So of course the Tristana has the passive, has this AoE damage constantly, and of course pushing the waves in. But it's all kind of gonna depend on the Aegon's position and how much he's gonna focus on bot. And maybe, you know, just having this pressure, knowing that the jungler might lurk around, is kind of enough for a Draven to, you know, take his space and comfortably expand on this bot lane. But honestly, I'm wondering what kind of strategy they're going for.
Yeah, another thing I'd like to point out here is the Lost Place Warriors, they're very heavy in terms of magic damage. I mean, they have the Blitzcrank, rather insignificant, but they have a Victor, Morgana, plus the Gragas. Gragas also running that Arcane Comet, so like 3 sources of magic damage. And now guess what? Especially Jarvan is really a champion that strives off of building that armor, building tanky, and just AD carries in general. They die pretty fast to magic damage, so, and they have 2 of them, so that will be a tough task here to master for the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers as we're heading onto the Rift. Welcome everybody. If you just tuned in, this is the evening number 2 here in the Swisscom Hero League, powered by ESL with League of Legends, and we're looking at the game between the Lost Place Warriors and the former Agon's gang members, now under Sunrise Enjoyers here. Willie there also giving us a smirk as we're heading on to the Rift, and with that first Ocean Drake that will be spawning. We certainly do not have that one as a soul. That would leave probably the
I like what's happening. I really like what's happening. We usually had Agon and his teammates trying something, but he's gonna face shift
he finds him
and give the first blood right away. And there goes the Last Place Warriors with a good lead in this game.
That's a tilter. I mean, I was like, is he gonna, like, Zoom could have just put his ball in there and checked, but he didn't, and
No.
like didn't smell that someone might be lurking in there, and they were like, okay, yeah, well, I guess we're just gonna hook you, and we're gonna be fine.
Those 40 manas not spent.
As Argon does start on the blue buff here, mirroring Dreaming's pathing, will of course enable him to look for an early gank in the top lane potentially, as Dreaming will be pathing towards his bottom lane, of course, which with that together with that Blitzcrank will of course be a very, very promising start here, because like as I already said, like Pi, he will take a beating no matter what in the top lane, but in the end this is not really the matchup that will decide this game, as he body slams in aggressively there. Quadra taking a lot of creep damage there, but Pi, he does have quite a bit of sustain, also opted for the cookies as well, so he can just sustain up. Let's get pushed in, and then around the level 3 mark, Argon heading into the mid lane earlier.
And not connecting here anything, so no summoners gonna be spent on this small aggression here.
Yeah, but quite a bit of HP lost there for Chef in that mid lane. That does alleviate a lot of pressure off of Zoom as he drops the ward there, spots out Dreaming, pathing towards his bottom lane further. But he's already pulling ahead quite significantly here, Dreaming that is, in terms of clear speed. And there we can just see those buffs in action, like the Morgana barely even losing any HP. Meanwhile, Argon is behind on the clear and has lost half of his health bar. And yeah, Morgana is just super speedy, opts for that early full clear here and might just look for a gank coming into this bottom lane.
Yeah, they already placed the wall in the Tribush, knowing the path might end up with that Dreaming coming at 3 minutes 30, so they respect it. Maybe Dreaming trying to make a lane gank. I think he's not. No, he's not spotted yet, but they are not going to proceed.
Yeah, they will know now. He's just heading over, picking up that scuttle as well, and then properly recalling early on, just looking to get his second clear started as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Quadra building up that CS lead even more here, as Chef has set up kind of a freeze here in the middle lane, forcing out a TP here from Zoom, so he can come and reset that one.
Now the pressure has been inverted on bot lane, that they know that Agon is not going to be here, so they know perfectly they can push in. The Dreaming is around, so in case anything turns bad, they can just rely on it.
Mid-lane.
And there he goes, waiting to
not
connect,
though.
but it won't happen this time. Dealing a little bit of damage with that red buff. Agon being spotted, so they just leave it where it is. And there you have the huge burst of the Tristana. No summoners. Oh yes, the Ignite has been used from Coach.
Yeah, filler feed here already taking quite a bit of a chunk, as the pressure now you can see that, like, level 1, Draven is of course super strong, but once the Tristana unlocks all her abilities and can just put some further levels into her E, her pressure just becomes so much higher. I mean, with that attack speed steroid on top of it all, there's just no way they can hold against it. It's like, for them it's like all in and win that fight, or play it very passively and wait for Argons to do anything in that matchup, as he's looking to get his second clear started as well. But Dreaming still quite comfortably ahead when it comes to that jungle matchup here.
He's gonna be spotted. Nothing to do here, so Dream might just move on. They want to take a plate, maybe, forcing it while. So he can. I think he gonna have to stay around sometimes just for Pi to enjoy his lane a little and secure some minions.
I was just like hoping they would just use their range advantage there and zone away the Vayne from the tower and from those 1.5 waves there, in order to maybe get Pi back or like back to a semi-equal state, as he's behind quite a bit in farm, but he just wanted to secure his recall. Shockwave there being used in the mid lane for just a bit of trading onto Chef, as Zoom is looking for that recall. Might as well spend that cooldown and head back into base.
First Drake being there for over 1 minute 30. They're trying to secure vision. Maybe they're going for something. They have the pressure. Agon hasn't been quite aggressive yet.
I mean, he tried to gank mid lane for once, but like the Orianna early on, there's just no real follow-up from her. And the Jarvan outside from being like a glorified CC bot does also not hold enough damage whatsoever in order to really secure a kill there, as they're now posturing around this blue buff here. Seems like they want to contest it, or at least get some deep vision here in that bot side red jungle.
And Agon going for the blue buff here. He might be in trouble. Pi is already moving. They do not have the information yet, but they kind of suspect it, and there it is. He's just gonna leave it, not taking any risks for that.
Yeah, Dreaming says, thank you very much for the leash, wasting a ton of time there for Agon. A bit of a too ballsy or overconfident move here coming out for him, I'd argue, but there you can just see, I mean, Dreaming, he does have the level advantage on that. Morgana already has the level 6. Meanwhile, Agon is still level 5 and has to try his best in order to keep up, as now the wave state in the bottom lane is still once again favoring the last place Warriors. And I mean, we said it on paper, the Sunrise Enjoyers are supposedly the better team, but as it looks so far, the last place Warriors certainly have a more fleshed out game plan and are just playing to their composition and strength quite accordingly. Creating a lot of these pressure points around the map, really eliminating any kind of aggression that Agon might muster, and just kind of neutralizing him very, very effectively.
There we might have something. Agon being ready for the counter gank. He's not level 6 yet. Dreaming has it. He might flash in. The grab is hitting, but the bindings are not yet. Tristana takes a second kill here for the last place Warriors, and that's gonna be Drake.
Yeah, who let the dogs out, as Wolf King taking that first blood there to his name. Just nothing that the Jarvan can do there, especially after using that flag and drag aggressively. That will also mean the first dragon going over to the side of the last place Warriors, and an early ocean dragon is of course always very, very helpful. Just helps you to keep keeping topped up when you are really going for some aggressive trades. As there's an explosive cast now coming. Quadra has to play the
flash, and there we go right into the replay, and here we can see how this is going. But the flash out into grab creates so much distance between Agon and his teams. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah, I mean, just going in there with the flag and drag when you know that flash is still up might have been a little overzealous there, but
here it keeps going. Chef
Shockwave
being caught by the shockwave. Dreaming trying to...
Oh, great hook! But Zoom now taking a lot of damage in return, 1-for-1 so far.
Forcing a teleport from Pi, no ultimate available. As he tried to engage on top lane, didn't work. As we can see, no deaths on the top lane Quadra. Careful here, still Fill of Feed being around, but I think this...
No flash on the Vayne. Oh, there's the Dark Binding. Wolfgang comes in to claim the kill, but Dreaming will pick it up there with the Tormented Soil. Fantastic rotation coming out from the last place Warrior, punishing Quadra, burning that flash in that earlier brawl against Pi. And so far they look to be in the lead. The gold lead, not really much in their favor yet, but so far they do get a lot of pressure on the map, plus they already secured that bottom side objectives, and now Dreaming is also looking to pick up that Herald without any further contest.
There we can see it again, ultimate has been used. I think they used so much here for Chef. Wasn't really worth it because they didn't even caught him properly.
Look at that hook, that was so perfect there. Pulling Agon away, so Zoom has to burn his flash too. And then the TP here coming in. Pi still has the flash up on his side, is looking for a potential. I think he thought, he contemplated about flashing onto Quadra there for a second, but then decided against it. And instead, the coach UFO was the one who landed the hook. No dodge available.
Oh, that was close. UFO trying here something. It's not working this time, but I think they're really fine. for now. I mean, look at the goal difference. Even though, okay, you have Quadra having like close to 3 times the CS of Pi, yet, I mean, with those kills and the Dragon, they kind of sustain for now.
Yeah, and as we have a look at the individual gold here, you can see already, like, the only reason the gold is so even or even a little bit in favor.
You can flash all you want. Once the Blitzcrank has flashed on you, you're not going anywhere.
Nope, certainly not if you're a Draven and you're not really ahead. Adoration stacks go bye-bye. Dreaming now, dropping that Herald down here in the bot lane, I'd expect. Argon making his way down here just to make sure they don't lose the tower right away. But overall, a big win once again for the last place Warriors. And yeah, what I just wanted to say, the only reason the Sunrise Enjoyers are not further behind is Quadra. In the top lane, he's nearly up. He's up about 1,600 gold, so full BF sword ahead when it comes to that top lane matchup. But other than that, last place Warriors is winning everywhere on the map. And there's another explosive cast, this time no flash for Quadra, as Pi just swiftly picks up the kill here. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly the problem with that Vayne pick. You can be ahead as much CS as you want. The Gragas just goes pop and you're dead.
Well, I don't know if that is supposed to go like that. He's not even going really AP, so that's kind of surprising. But yeah, anyway, he doesn't really need that much AP in the early game. He has so much damage on his basic abilities. There goes the grab. UFO trying to annoy Agon there with a little delay on his blue buff.
And I mean, Argon, he is already behind in CS quite a bit in terms of clearing those jungle camps, and that will only increase as the game does go on, because as we have the first mythics being completed, Morgana's clear will only be speeding up, and here we can see it again. Same play as before, but this time Quadra without the flash. Classic kind of bounce play.
Yeah, I mean, he, okay, you can take a plate, but that's not worth it. I don't think it's necessary. He knows he can outfarm. He knows he can outplate the Pi. I don't think he should have taken those kind of risks.
Yeah. And like in the end, it doesn't even matter. The Vayne can theoretically be up 200 TS. If one of those CC sources connects, like a flash body slam into something like the Chaos Storm coming out from the Victor, that Vayne will just die as another engagement in the bottom lane.
Okay, so the first turret is down. Agon having his ultimate ready. Maybe they're going to try something. They should focus that Tristana having such a huge DPS. Look at that damage, and it's not over as the Morgana is finally launching that Q and ultimate, followed by a stopwatch. But careful, Zoom is joining in. He has still this shockwave available. And Wolf King just like, I'm behind. I don't really care for backing. I just need to take a kill before going home.
Yeah, and there the kill is picked up by Zoom here, as he's getting pretty fat on that Orianna. Also managed to rotate quite a bit faster there compared to Chef, pushing out the wave early and continuing his lead as they're now looking to pick up the second Herald, putting a temporary stop to a potential win condition in that soul win condition, as we're looking at an Infernal Soul that will be up for grabs this game.
Careful, Quadra not having the vision. Is he trying to do something there? He has the ultimate. He's gonna wait probably for a dash not happening this time.
Yeah, look at this. It just, in the end, it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, Quadra does have double the CS, but barely any kind of sustain on his side. And the Gragas now having finished his plated steel caps and is on the way to also build his Iceborne Gauntlet, I'd presume. There's just no way that the Vayne will ever be able to really match against him before she has like one, or I'd say even 2 items completed.
We have already the Mythic completed on Tristana. Nothing yet for Snustif on his Draven. I think he lost so much stacks on that last early fight. Now, hopefully he gathered some more. Now, roaming here around the Herald, maybe trying something here from UFO. No, it's not gonna happen. Careful for Tristana. Might jump in here. There is backup. I mean, there is anything they need.
There they go in.
And it connects. Ultimate and
that
the
just
last.
Beautiful. Oh, the hook also connecting.
Now it's a 2-4-0 on the top lane, taking this turret down, probably rotating on the Herald right after it. Careful, Agon trying maybe something here on Chef. They might just shove that wave in and continue the pressure so they can carefully and peacefully take this Herald.
Yeah, Sunrise Enjoyers from the gutter into the canal here, as they thought they had escaped it, but there you could just see the gale force damage coming out. It's so strong, and Ago now being caught in a hard place.
Is it over yet? Yes, it's not gonna be a chase race here. Youthful thinking, no, let's just take some objectives. We have now the time to do it.
So at this point, if you're the Sunrise Enjoyers, you have to ask yourself, okay, how can we get back into this? How can we turn this around? And this is exactly how!
Hitting here, and Snustiv taking finally his first kill, and might be this is gonna inverse that tendency we had from, I think, from the start in favor of last place Warriors. Herald has been taken from Dreaming, and we have now Quadra pushing this bot lane in.
Yeah, Quadra is just in pure rage split mode at this point. I mean, he's like, okay, the Gragas is kind of bullying me at this point, and I can't really do much against it. He also has some decent wave clear now, and kind of the only win condition that remains on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers is that Oriana from Zoom, and there you can see it. I mean, once that shockwave lands, just so much damage. Argon there trying to chase, but Chef getting to safety with a nice flash, and Quadra now being caught out here. No chance for him whatsoever, and yeah, that's some Vayne spotting for you.
He had vision on the Travesh, though, so I think maybe we're gonna see it later, but interesting how he still got called that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, goal here for the last place Warriors is, can we eliminate Zoom, or can we keep him out of the fight? And I'm looking especially at the Gragas here, or also of course the Morgana, which is just a fantastic pick into this, because she can just black shield one of those key targets, and with that full AP build, those shields will be quite sizable. Yeah, okay. There's just no way.
Yeah, no, it's like, you know, I needed this cannon minion.
It's yeah, you tried. It's a Gragas plus a Tristana. There's just no way you're ever gonna get out of harm's way.
Maybe both Quadra and Agon having a bad game here and trying to mentally stabilize, but for now it doesn't look good.
Yeah, and also the Herald now is dropped in the middle lane to be able to open up that map even further, and that's a third tower already down here for the last place Warriors. So in terms of macro play, they're ahead by like a landslide. They even get looking for that second charge here in the mid lane, as Shirley is charging her head against that tower. Meanwhile, Quadra is still on his lonesome, has to invest the TP now. The flanking Vayne coming in. Whoa!
Beautiful ultimate here, allowing everyone to be hit by this ultimate, but no, it's too late for that, guys. You just left a
call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me! That's kind of the motto here for the last place Warriors, as they just turn around. Perfect Cataclysm coming out for Agon. But last place Warriors are so ahead at this point, and it was a good flank, but it's a Vayne. What is the Vayne going to do? It's like you can try your best LPL cosplay there. But that will just not suffice in those kind of situations. And yeah, I mean, Quadra 4 deaths, 0 kills. Argon also 0 and 4. This is not looking good. Like, the only straw they can hang on to is Zoom.
I mean, everything was...
Look at this. But this is like the classic kind of I'm Jarvan, I'm helping. He's in there, he gets the perfect ultimate, but his team is just nowhere near. Yeah. And then the flanking Vayne also not really accomplishing much into the likes of a Blitzcrank and the Gragas. And the last place Warriors say thank you very much. We gladly gonna take 2.5 towers there and 2 kills on top of that. And good luck in esports.
I think they might be hearing now in their headsets, farm up guys, stop trying to fight here. Yeah. It is not working for now.
He's not filling.
He's not filling.
He's not filling, he's feeding. Yeah, yeah. So I guess he does he does pay tribute to his own name right there. As the last place where they just seem so coordinated in this game. They really got their number. They're kind of predicting. Oh, there's the shutdown. Zoom claiming that onto Pi. And that's actually amazing. A shutdown on the Gragas.
Okay, maybe this time we're gonna have something, but wait, it's not over. Wolf King has not dealt his own damage for now. Quadra being in a very difficult place, but it's still a Vayne.
Oh
he
my
can
gosh.
turn this around. And now Chef is in trouble, running away from a red buff Vayne. That is
he does not hit.
gonna happen. And there's the last auto attack finishing off this kill for a 5-man team down. And now maybe they're gonna breathe again.
Yeah, I think Quadra heard me flaming him there and was like, what? 0 kills? I'll make sure to turn that one around as a... Yeah, that was quite a scrappy fight there. We might have to have another look at it in a quick replay in a minute, as that certainly did not seem... Like, I think it just really caused a curse the last place, where it's just complimented them for looking so structured, for like being very organized and like planned out, and then they do something like this. I mean, Coach UFO just feeling himself a little bit there and then dying quite early. Argon dies super fast. I mean, great ultimate from Dreaming, zoning everyone away. And then I think that was just some miscoordination here.
Yeah, and
who goes on who?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then look at this E here coming out from the Victor. A little unfortunate there, not connecting onto Quadra.
So I think Wolf shouldn't have put all his burst on the 05 Javan. Maybe he should have kept it for the Vayne. Even though she is behind, she's still a huge threat now, being in 2.5 items. This is slowly turning around.
Yeah, and also finally here some healing reduction being picked up on the side of the last place Warriors. I mean, between those two Immortal Shield bows, you have a lot of healing coming out from the Sunrise Enjoyers, and you really want to cut that down. I mean, we could see it right there from the Vayne, and also Snoozediff on his Draven stayed alive for quite a bit longer than he was probably supposed to, if it wasn't for that additional life still coming out from that shield bow.
Trying to provoke here Sunrise Enjoyers by trying something on the
Coach
Nashor.
UFO
going in. Careful, 3 DPS on Quadra. He's not being caught. He's being zoned out now. And the rest of Sunrise Enjoyers have to do something about Chef. Chef is not being caught. 1 against 4, as is Quadra.
Just a completely split fight there. It does start to look very, very messy in this game by the looks of it, as Quadra does manage to stay alive. So overall a 1-for-0 trade there for the last place Warriors, but their health bars are still quite topped up and they are looking to get onto that Baron, even though they are down 1 member.
Quadra might be the one that is going to have to look at what's going on. Yes, they are doing it. You might hurry up, but careful, this can turn around easily, although there is no ultimate on Agon, no ultimate on Zoom as well. Yet the smite
they're
is
just
there.
taking it.
He's trying it.
And Argon does not have it. Oh yeah, he did have the flash up there, just back off cooldown. Does have to invest it to get out of harm's way. But overall, I mean, you gladly take a kill on your support for a Baron, as they pick up that objective too. And now they can just look to put even more pressure here on the map. And I think they should try and get away from like these skirmishes in the mid lane.
It coming. It's fine. It's UFO taking the aggro. Careful, the Tristana being on heavy damage here, as Quadra is trying to tower dive, hitting, and it's a double kill on Snoozediff.
Welcome to the League of Draymond, ladies and gentlemen, as Snoozediff really making a big difference there in that fight, throwing out the Whirling Death, taking out Wolf King there quite swiftly. And yeah, I just wanted to say, like, they should really try and refrain from just keeping stacked in the mid lane, going for those really messy and unstructured fights over and over, and instead focus on what they're good at, their macro play, their immaculate communication that we've seen so far coming out of them. As this kind of brawl heavy style seems to be more the realm of the Sunrise Enjoyers.
Yeah, they had a perfect vision control on the south of the map, and now heavy back, I think, for this Draven. You can really see they have no idea what's going on whatsoever.
And also Wolfgang here, quite a questionable decision making here, trying to trade there when it's like a 3v5, 3v4, and they're already peeling away from it. I mean, it's perfect. They got so many cooldowns out of the Sunrise Enjoyers. Even the shockwave was blown by the Oriana and absorbed by that Black Shield, who is just so big with that AP build. Did absorb both the thrash damage plus then also that shockwave. So after that, just head out, just let it go. And the Wolf King not agreeing with that, trying to get some damage in there and paying for it with his life as Pina's looking for a potential engage.
You have now 3 heavy damage outputs on the side of Sunrise Enjoyers with that Oriana unbeaten yet. 700 gold shutdown money here to get, but I don't know how this is gonna happen. They really need to have a huge burst quite fast. He might go in. Agon trying something, but it's not ultimating so late, but still worth it. Quadra being under heavy damage, flashing out and allowing the focus to be on him and not on Snus, who is dealing so much damage in this fight, taking 2 more kills here.
Yeah, I mean, the plan once again was not bad here from the last place Warriors to just keep that cannon alive and try and finish off that mid lane inhibitor tower that they damaged so well earlier. But then once again a hook landing onto Coach UFO, and instead of peeling back, they kind of try to go in here. And another 2 kills do go over onto that Draven, who's now 7 and 3. So being out of the game for like the first 20 minutes of the game, he's now really getting big on that Draven.
I think we slowly see what they were planning here, the Sunrise Enjoyers. You know, like, it's okay, they might have a more coordinated and more maybe structured fashion and style of playing, but we have individual skills that might be a little more, and now we have the problem that last place Warriors don't really know where to focus. Yeah, and that's what you really saw at the last fight. Here we go again, and you see that Quadra is doing so much damage, but so is Zoom, and so is Snustif. You can see it right there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, just wait and chill and leave that cannon alive. And
now, now they're focusing Quadra, but it's too late. Snustif already taken 2 people down, with the damage of Zoom, of course, helping out.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I just think playing this far up and aggressive without any vision into the enemy base is just not really recommendable, and they did pay the price for it. Overall, the gold is pretty much dead even at this point. It's been shifting back and forth for about like 500 to 1000 gold in the past couple of minutes, so overall a very even game, but still a lot of that advantage is still on Quadra. In the meantime, you still have Dreaming on that Morgana, who is dealing a huge load of damage. As there we can see it, it's like 4000 gold difference in the top lane. But that's also like pretty much matched by Dreaming, and then also Wolf King still being significantly ahead over the Draven.
Okay, maybe we might have here something again. Dreaming not connecting the Q-spare here.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what it is with the last place Warriors. Apparently there must be something wrong with bottom lane, because nobody has shown their faces down there in like for the past like 10 minutes, I think. None of the waves have been accepted by either side of the team, so like really not playing to their side lanes, and they rather keep brawling and brawling and brawling. In those mid lane fights as a hook lands.
There is no Quadra yet, but both of them are teleporting. Careful, Fiddle Feet being at the front, receiving so much damage. He's gonna fall. Egan going in, Quadra being on the side. Zoom and Snus are now 3 DPS, but it's a little late as the tanks are falling. Yet Quadra has so much damage. There is nothing you can do at this point of the game if you not take down the Vayne quickly enough.
Yeah, and overall they managed to trade 3 for 2 here, the Sunrise Enjoyers that is, and the next dragon is now just spawning. All their carries are left alive. They did manage to take down the Thresh plus Agon on his Jarvan there, but in the end that does not matter if you do not get to those key targets really. I think that was a bit of a miscommunication. They're TPing in it and looking for an engage. In the meantime, his team looking quite hesitant still on that and like staying back, and he went in, but then there was no immediate support for him. So in the end, they do lose that fight, and that's the kind of situations where, of course, that double AD carry lineup does shine, because, I mean, even if you take down 2 of their members, they still have by far enough damage. I mean, here both TPs coming in.
Yeah, I'm surprised there wasn't a real committee here to welcome this Quadra tipping on this WOD, but however, they managed to take a few members off the front line, but look, now you're left alone, and there is yet so much damage output there.
Yeah, and it's these small kind of things. I mean, you see a Vayne TPing in like the middle of a fight. Why is there no gravity field being put down? Why are they not ready to immediately collapse in that Vayne? They know they have to get her out, because otherwise they're never going to be able to win a fight. It's the second most fed member on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers at this point. So they need to get this Vayne dead, otherwise there's just no winning a fight. So really focusing on that, I kind of missed that from the side of the last place Warriors.
And now I think we are in the last few minutes where last place Warriors were in lead with the gold. Now this is over, and honestly it's all about mind game also, as they're not really winning any fight anymore.
Yeah, and once again it's just a 5v5 in mid lane. Once again, go to your side lanes, push out those waves, look for, oh my gosh, that damage onto Pi is just insane coming out from Zoom. I don't think at this point you even want to look for a team fight. You have that pick comp.
Aegon going in here, we're landing this ultimate as Snooze, Diff and Quadra are really free DPS. Chef dealing a lot of damage as well. Dreaming just getting out. Wolf King might jump in. I don't know how greedy this could end, but it's not gonna happen, hopefully. And they're trying here something under the dash.
Same situation as before. They do take down the jungler and the support there pretty quickly, and the carries are left alive. But Coach UFO now here potentially being caught out by Zoom as they are moving in onto that Baron. They can just pull through here, I think. Oh, look at that damage!
But it's not going to be enough.
Nearly two-shotting him. They're Dreaming also falling. Coach UFO and Wolf King have to run for the hills now. Can they potentially turn it around here as Quadra, Snooze, Diff and Zoom are moving in here? They can turn it around. Shot down here. Great exhaust onto that Raven. Wolf King jumping in and getting another kill. Shot down onto the Tristana. What is happening in this game, ladies and gentlemen?
I think losing the Baron wasn't enough. They had to int there.
Yeah, like, damn, we just lost Baron. Here, have 3 kills. Plus the shutdown from the Orianna. So if you thought that Tristana was huge before, now she is even more so. And with those carries dead for another like 20 seconds, they can just look to open up the base here, because what can a Thresh and the Jarvan really do in order to defend that against this 11-3 4-item Tristana? And that's a Tristana who still has Baron gold plus gold from like 5 kills? 4 kills?
And 4 levels ahead of the enemy jungler.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't want to mess with it
from the enemy support. I mean, at this point, you really have to show respect for her.
Yeah,
what was not done right before.
The level differences are just huge here. But Quadra here getting a pick onto Dreaming, doing a little of exploration here. And this is exactly that's like the only thing that the last place Warriors have to avoid at this point in order to win this game, as there's an aggressive teleport now being channeled by Pi.
That seems a bit early.
Straight into the base. You, my friend, are a confident one. Okay, I mean,
yeah,
you can do that, and he's just gonna die.
Yeah, yeah.
That might have just been the worst TP of 2021.
Maybe we're gonna have some memes about this one.
Yeah, I think so too. When you, I don't know, when you're like getting really hyped and you think you're playing Tryndamere, but you're actually a 3-5 Gragas with 150 CS.
And 300, 200 armor, and
yeah.
No particular damage.
So it looks like now they even have to give up this Infernal Soul here, as Dreaming is just coming off of a reset. Can they do anything here? I mean, the Tristana does have 5 items at this point and just takes down Phil or Feet within the blink of an eye. But oh, there's the steal! Chef stealing away the Inferno Dragon! Adding insult to injury here. What is this game? I can't even. To be fair, Agon is level 14 on his Jarvan. That's a level 17 Victor with 4 items. So there's quite a bit of damage to come out of him. But that should not happen in theory. But it just did.
Not when no, when 4 members of the team are in the Dragon Pit hurting it. But yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's a messy game. Let's just say, put it like that. Look at this. Face checking here, feel or feed. Trying, I mean,
Trying to fill.
Good
but
attempt,
failing.
I guess. And then here, oh, yeah. How much? We might have to have another review, replay of that one in like slow motion. I think it was at like 1-digit or 2-digit HP there when it went down. As Chef is aggressively posturing forward here.
Okay, every ultimate are being ready here. More summoners available on the side of Sunrise Rise.
What are they doing though? Why are they in the enemy jungle when I can just look?
There it goes. Wolfgang not in position. Wolfgang completely out of the fight here, leaving his teammates.
Oh, Snoops, they're
alone.
flashing over! That's an exhaust.
Quadra trying something, but it's not gonna work. The 2 AD carries cannot match with that Tristana, not yet. But that was a very, very special fight here, with Wolfgang absolutely being out of position here while they were trying something.
Yeah, at the moment we're on pace. We're at 50 kills in 38 minutes. So yeah, quite an impressive kind of scoreline here. They certainly are not planning to stop brawling anytime soon here by the looks of it. And yes, that was just such a bad fight to take for the last place Warriors. I mean, they had the mid lane open. They have an open inhibitor in the mid lane. They could have just pushed that one down, but instead running into the enemy topside jungle and trying to just like do something and try and burst them down. Yeah, 113 HP on that dragon. Agon. That's a miss smite if I've ever seen one. But nevertheless, Wolfgang, he's just huge. 6 item Tristana. It's like 6 items plus. She sold her boots in favor of another crit item. This is this is just insane here. Wolfgang is so incredibly fed. Let's just jump out of harm's way here. And yeah, also level 18 at this point, so a huge range advantage on that Tristana, especially also with that rapid fire cannon on top of it all. So yeah, she hurts. If like only one of those explosive charges on your head plus like 2 auto attacks, and you pretty much lose all of your HP. Agon now
trying something, dreaming, not connecting the dots here. Ultimate available, but the damage is so huge as Victor, played by Chef, is dealing so much damage.
Flash.
And there
Finally!
it is. There it is! Ladies and gentlemen, Pi slowing them down, and there is no way going home there.
Wolfgang
taking the kill!
The shockwave plus the spinning axe there, being able to take down Wolfgang, and without an AD carry, question is now, can they still end the game here? It is 2 versus 4. Zoom is posturing that defense. He's also full build with 18 stacks on his match eyes. Second inhibitor that will be taken down by them. Will they like keep their composure and back away? Yes, by the looks of it, they will. Quite the harsh loss here for losing Wolfgang. That could have been the end here for the last place warrior, but now they're setting their sights onto the Baron here once again.
They're going for it right away as the Sunrise Enjoyers have to defend. There is no way they can contest this.
Yeah.
And they might as well just rotate home and go straight to the Drake.
Yeah, will they wait here for the Tristana to respawn? No, it does not look like it, but yeah, they can go for... See, this time Coach UFO much more like timid with those hooks, waiting for like once it is needed. And then here finally, like the first time we see a bloody flash body slam. Is it that hard to flash body slam onto an AD carry? But this time, oh look at this, just that crit coming out from the Draven there, and also that like he buffered the rocket jump perfectly fine.
And here we go again. And this never-ending fights.
This is Inferno Soul for both teams at this point.
It's
But
going
it looks
down
like
so
it's
fast. There it is. Now they can try something. Ultimate has been launched from Snusdiv, and they try to go on Pi. Aegon dying again first here with the huge amount of damage distributed by Chef and Wolfking. And
Argon?
now they're gonna be fast.
Argon really going for that 0-20 power spike here, looking to do so. They have 2 open inhibs now. They have a Baron up. Yes, the Sunrise Enjoyers just got an Inferno Soul, which is a potential alleyway for them to get back into the game. But it's now a 5v4 here in front of the Nexus towers. Question is, can they just push it in here? Very controlled attempt here by the last place Warriors. 15 more seconds on Argon. He does have the Catalyst back up, and that hook!
Quadra being caught there, the Guardian Angel giving them some time, but there's gonna be a oh no, time enough to flash out, but now first tower is being down. Huge damage here, but oh, look at this damage. Snusdiv outputting so much damage.
What is
but
happening?
Now
Zoom now
after
running
him.
them down here. Does not connect there with the second command attack. And in the end, they managed to peel off, and they like get out with their tail between their legs. I mean, the damage coming out from the Sunrise Enjoyers is just insane. Yes, the Vayne did lose her Guardian Angel, but in the end, they managed to get 2 very important kills back onto Dreaming as well as Wolfking on that Tristana. And we're already 43 minutes into this game, so the death timers at this point, they do get very, very long. 20 more seconds on both Dreaming and Wolfking, and that means they might just lose an inhibitor here on the side of the last place Warriors.
15 more seconds as well. It might go at be
Argon
careful.
going in.
Pi, but they get him. Pi being at the back, but the damage is not going to be enough as Zoom and Snusdiv are destroying this turret. A little grab hook here, wasted.
Oh.
But, oh, that's not good.
But the shockwave, Snusdiv turning it around. Pi has to go into the Sonias. The Tristana is back up, ladies and gentlemen. The inhib does not fall. Wolfking going in again there onto Phil or Feed. And what a back and forth that is. They don't lose the inhibitor here, but Chef did die once again, and I'm not sure why he's not building a Sonias against such a burst-heavy comp here on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers. It seems like quite an odd choice here to me. But we're now at 70 kills actually in 44 minutes, so they're not slowing down really, and Wolfking apparently still does need some gold, keeps farming, or just at this point depriving the enemies of their resources.
Snusdiv having so much sustain there, enough to take down those.
That's like one of these hooks where you're like, I can land that hook, I can land that hook, but the proper question would be, should you? Even if, is it really a good idea? Because Zoom at this point, he deals a ton of damage, 25 stacks on that Magi. Even did switch his boots over to some more magic penetration instead of the Mercury threats. As a next objective that is gonna be spawning will be another Baron here. That's the 4th Baron already that's spawning this game. So far all of them did go over to the last place Warriors, and here we can see it once again. I mean, the attempt here was good, carrying in those waves. They were a bit off sync. Fantastic hook here. And then after that, just like focus on the wave instead of trying to force anything. And then the fight got kind of split. Great hook there being landed by Phil or Feed onto Wolfking. He might want to consider getting a QSS for those two, just to get out of harm's way. Because at this point, it's not really the damage you're missing on the Tristana. It's just, can you stay alive against the likes of Zoom, like Snusdiv, and against Quadra?
Now we have these 2 inhibs back, so they do not need to split push all the time, but both teleports are ready, and yet we, as usual, do not see anybody on the side lanes to try to set up a slow push, and the objectives are slowly but surely
more
being
AOM,
available.
let's go.
Yeah.
But like at this point, I mean, they have fantastic wave clear here. I mean, the only source of wave clear the Sunrise Enjoyers have at this point is their Orianna. So it would really be a good idea to just split up and push in the side waves and then look for another Baron to go. As yeah, they are just invading once again here. They do have kind of the priority in the mid lane still, due to just being more aggressive and overall having more wave clear and be able to push in those waves continuously. And then they're of course always the first ones to move onto that Baron, which of course puts a lot of pressure on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers. But they have quite a potent team fighting lineup, as we could see time and time again. As there's the Whirling Death now coming out. Pi does get caught.
Agon is not going instantly in this time, but they gotta be fast as the Baron is melting down, and now it might be too late. But last place Warriors are disengaging and trying to set up something slower and secure.
Yeah, we see the pings there coming out from the last place Warriors onto the bot side and to the top side, and the Gragas is TPing in there. He wants to look for the end or the inhib. There are two
and here we got
teleports
we
now
have a
being
3
channeled.
versus 4. Snus Div dealing so much damage, but it's not gonna be enough, and they of course stop this by invasion there.
What is this game? I mean,
But now
everyone tipping into the top lane, and now they are looking for some picks. Can Pi get out here? In the end, they just handshake and be like, no, peace out, guys. It was just a prank,
And there goes the Elder. They're starting it already. Positioning is quite okay. They're zoned out last place Warriors, but it's inevitably a big fight. Aegon going in, dying instantly as Quadra is taking another kill. But now they're on this Dragon again. Grab UFO falling down, but careful, there's
stealing away the Elder, dreaming with the MVP play here. Can they finish them off? Zoom getting in now, Wolf King flashing over the wall.
He's alone, he's gonna die for sure. There's
Yeah.
nothing he can do.
But Chef is in the base and ready to put an end to this madness. As can he do it? Can he do it? Flashing over the Nexus here. Oh no! Still no Sonya's on him, so he does get taken out.
And it's an
the
ace.
game will continue, ladies and gentlemen.
But for how long?
Everyone dead on the side of the last place Warriors.
There is no teleport available this time for Gragas.
How did everyone die, by the way? I mean, I saw Wolf King inting it away. I saw Chef dying. But what happened to the rest
But
of them?
I think Dreaming was just there to stall, but it didn't work as planned, as expected. I
mean,
think.
this could be the end here for the Sunrise Enjoyers.
Yeah, I think it's
they
depending.
they don't have a wave though. And Pi is back up. Can he cut off the minion wave? He's trying to. The shockwave they're coming in, and he's just dying.
He still is.
What are you
That's
doing,
the
mate?
end. That's the end, ladies and gentlemen.
Sunrise Enjoyers are taking this first game after a huge back and forth, and in the end, the goal difference, 500 gold. Like, that's how close that game was. It was messy. It was hard to watch at some sections, I'd say. Some questionable decisions, but it was certainly a very, very enjoying one. As we're starting off the second day of League of Legends here the right way. Well, honestly, like, aside from this being, I wouldn't say necessarily a shit show, but quite a
an interesting game.
An interesting game, exactly.
That's the politically correct term.
I'd agree. We certainly saw that last place Warriors are capable of really matching up to the Sunrise Enjoyers. They had fantastic macro. They were superior when it came to the objective control. They also had some very good calls, but in the end, they really fell into that trap of kind of falling into like that trap that the Sunrise Enjoyers built for them, and trying to fight them over and over. And they did have the better team fight comp. They did have more damage, and in these unstructured kind of fights, taking out the Agon on his 0.25 Jarvan plus fill or feed on his Thresh doesn't really do you much good if the rest of the team consists of a Draven, a Vayne, and the Giga Fed Orianna. So can they like go back to the playing book and like look how to set up more pressure in the sideways? They had the better comp for doing that, in my opinion, and overall showed like more controlled and kind of goal-oriented playstyle.
Alright, so next game in a few minutes. Take a break, take something to drink. We're going to be back in just a few minutes.
It's been a road less traveled, all alone. Feeling my body leveled on my own. I think I'm up in heaven, 'cause you were hell. I gave back my freedom. I can just feel it, no way to stop it. The sounds of the music, so through my bones. I can just taste it, no need to fight it. 'Cause I'm out here staying, it's fast in my soul. 'Cause lightning and thunderstorms are never stopping me before. This night is never over, not until I leave the floor. So that's the question, baby, I can't ever get enough. So don't you try and stop me dancing till the sun comes up.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
And welcome back. I hope you had a good break. We certainly needed one after that kind of game here. I mean, you could just see the replays coming up during the break. Let's call it a fiesta. I think it's safe to say, like, once you hit the 80 kills benchmark, I think it's fair to call it a fiesta.
And even more if it lasts for 48 minutes.
Yes, and it comes down to the wire like that in the end. I mean, that was just incredible here coming out from these teams. I still wish for a bit of a cleaner game in the second one. I mean, the Sunrise Enjoyers, that was exactly their game, kind of their game plan, if there even was one for them. It was just like, okay, kind of the see hero, kill hero mentality, as they were just trying to get them to brawl, and the last place where they just did them this favor and defaulted exactly to that. Okay, guys, let's meet mid and just fight over and over and over again, even though they could have potentially gone to the side lanes and pushed those out and look for some pressure that way, because they always had the inside tracks on pretty much all the objectives. The 3 dragons they did, or the 4 dragons they did lose to the Sunrise Enjoyers. 3 of them were just due to the fact that they just just immediately before they did lose a fight.
Yeah.
Other than that, they had superior vision control pretty much throughout the game. They were stronger. They had the kind of more well-rounded and comp, and
they didn't take any decision. I think that might be the problem.
Yeah.
I think they were supposed to, but they didn't.
Yeah, and also I was kind of I felt like the Pi on his Gragas had a pretty lackluster performance, I feel. He was caught so many times out off guard, like really not being in sync with his team, like on a completely different page sometimes. He was just like standing in the middle of the entire enemy team, and this team wasn't even going for any kind of engages.
No.
He also was, for some reason, he was building a ton of magic resist. Or opting for like second item magic resist when he's up against 280 carries, basically, and Argon on top of that. But Argon wasn't really a big factor in this game, I felt.
He was, but not in the good terms.
But like Pi was he was supposed, like, you're supposed to be the chosen one. He was the one supposed to get into the backline, like CC those key targets, be it Zoom, be it Snooze Diff, or be it Quadra on his Vayne. Either of those will work. Just CC them down with like a flash body slam, and then knock them back into your team with like an explosive cast. Literally spread the enemies thin and like take them out one by one, because that's what your composition is supposed to be like. You have the rocket grab coming out from the Blitzcrank, you have the dark binding, you have so many pick tools, but if you're instead just keeping to try and fight front to back into 3 carries, that's just not a good recipe for success.
I think they weren't really, as I said, I think they really did take any decision. They had the toolkit. I mean, Gragas was there to decoy and just, put some panic in the team, so they could step by step take them down one by one. And I think they didn't decide at any point like, let's do it, let's go for that strategy. They just were waiting the other team to make bigger mistakes.
Yeah, it's that kind of. Yeah, you can slam in a nail with a screwdriver, it will work, but it's super inefficient. So maybe maybe consider a different path than that, and actually use your tools how they are the strongest. And in this case, that would have certainly been sent the Victor to a side lane, also sent the Gragas to a side lane, and then just between Blitzcrank, Morgana, and Tristana, clear those waves in mid lane, because you have way better wave clear. We talked about this during the game. Yeah. On the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, there's only Zoom who has proper wave clear. All the others always have to put themselves kind of in harm's way. And if you like have Pi in a side lane and coach UFO constantly roaming around and creating pressure on the map, setting up vision and setting up these pocket of dark vision where he can always threaten a hook, and then like having the Gragas plus the Morgana roam with him, and also Wolf King, who was just so super fed after pushing out the base, moving with them into their respective sidelines and playing through that, and not just like clash head to head in mid lane over and over again. You can actually leverage these kind of advantages you have, and you actually play the map rather than just like basically a Street Fighter game.
Yeah, I think as I said, it was both teams were a little too much passive in the decision taking, and let's see if maybe game 2 they're gonna change completely and we're gonna have a set of new ways this game or this BO3 is gonna end.
Yeah, but like my favorite about that game was like just the fact that we saw that this is actually an even matchup. I mean, it was very, very even throughout the game. You could see some quite a few mistakes on both sides actually. Certainly kind of the draft on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, but a very strong macro coming out from the last place Warriors. And then in terms of like individual performance, the Sunrise Enjoyers were certainly eclipsing the last place Warriors.
Now let's see if this time, I think there was a huge part of mind game, as you might have seen Agon being on the wrong side of the coin this time. Yeah. And I think maybe this early invade had to do something with it. But so let's see. I'm pretty sure this is not going to happen twice in a row, that he is getting taken down in the first minute. But let's see how this rolls out if he's not starting with you.
Yeah, and also like a big factor after a game like this, I mean, this is tiring. Fighting for nearly 50 minutes, like on a knife's edge back and forth like this certainly does take a toll on your mental. And especially on like the Chef's Victor, who was like inches from ending the game through that backdoor there with a fantastic TP play coming out from him. That can certainly hurt your team's mentality, and especially also your own. Plus then also you have Pi, who had a very, very lackluster performance so far. And but on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, like Algon, he didn't really look too good at all this game. I mean, it does work on a jar, and I mean, he is, after all, he is kind of a glorified one-dimensional CC bot in the late games anyways. Like, you're really picking the Jarvan for those early game impact, which in this game he didn't have at all. Like, Dreaming completely shut him out of the game and did a fantastic job at that, and then Argon kept trying to look for these engages. What in the end happened, like he was basically, he died like paper over and over. But what he did is he often got a lot of cooldowns and resources out of the side of the last place Warriors, and in these kind of scrappy and brawly fights they did have the upper hand. So let's head into draft number 2 here for this continuation of a potential series we might have on our hands here, as the bans do look to be quite similar to the first game.
Yeah, I think they just keep going for the target bans. On the personal side, they just don't really gonna change a lot here. I think they might of course change their own picks, and there goes the Oriana.
Yeah,
so
switching it up a little bit.
Yeah, adapting.
Yeah, taking away that Oriana from Zoom.
That might be a good decision.
Yeah, and also the Tristana now being taken off the board here, so a little bit of switching it up there. So once again, the Udyr is still open here for the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers. Question is, will they just pick it up? I mean, okay, they are opting for the Morgana here once again, first picking that as well. And this, of course, leaves the Seraphine open here for the side of the last place Warrior to pick up. Question is, will they put it into the bottom lane or send it to the mid? I mean, at the moment, there's and I personally like this a lot about the current state of League. There's a lot of picks that can be flexed around. Seraphine and Morgana are just 2 of those examples, and this creates a lot of more like your decisions that you make during draft become a lot more impactful.
Yeah.
And you want to keep up as much flexibility as you can for as long as possible, essentially.
Yeah, and I think it offers also a vaster variety on what you can do once you started picking and banning some of the champions.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is the Volibear that's now locked in for the last place. Very interesting choice here, especially looking at that Morgana on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers. I mean, she can just Black Shield his stun, and then it will not be off cooldown right away again. If you see the Volibear, he gets a reset of like 1 or like a half a second on just recasting his Q. But if you just use a Black Shield, that won't happen, as there's the Yone that is picked up. That, of course, that Morgana in the jungle opens up the possibility of using an AD mid laner, and by the looks of it, that will be the Yone in this game for the Sunrise Enjoyers.
That is going to be dreadful, I think. Zoom playing his Yone. My head, and maybe we're gonna have this time a Karma support. I mean, it's still kind of flexed.
Yeah, at this point I'd say it's very likely that the Karma will be the support, and the Morgana will go to the jungle, as the Thresh thus is left open here and will be picked up by the last place Warriors here. Coach UFO playing that quite fit. I mean, Thresh is just one of these champions that's basically ever since release has just been super solid. Never really needed any kind of major reworks or whatsoever. I mean, they did switch his additional magic damage from like his E to his Q at some point, or no, the other way around, from his Q to his E at some point. But now they are looking to just pinch that AD carry champion pool here a little bit more on the side of the last place Warriors. I mean, the Seraphine can also be played, of course, as like the bot laner.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have to be the support, but can also just be a bot laner overall, as the Sunrise Enjoyers are aware of that and are targeting the AD carry pool here as well.
This time, no Draven, no Tristana. We're gonna have a fresh AD carry set here on this game, on this second game of this BO3 between last place Warriors.
Oh, I like this one. I like this one. The Kai'Sa here coming out for the side of the last place Warriors. She's probably the strongest AD carry that's currently in the game, together with Tristana, and then it's like S plus tier for like Kai'Sa and Tristana, and then S tier for like Jinx, or A plus tier maybe, because the Jinx still does lack in terms of mobility, as the Sunrise Enjoyers, they are hovering the Senna here. Does make a lot of sense into this kind of comp. Very supportive role this time for Snooze Diff here. So we're looking at Zoom here, who will be the big carry for the second game potentially, as there's the Gangplank that's now being hovered. And it would have been a good fit into this team comp, honestly, just in order to pressure the map globally as well. But it will be the set here. My personal favorite champion. We don't really see him too much anymore in the top lane. At some points he can even be played in the mid, but also there he's not as popular anymore as he once was. And by the way, the Volibear can of course also still be flexed. That can still go to either the jungle or the top lane, as there's a Gwen being hovered, but that one is not allowed yet, unfortunately. So it looks like the Volibear will indeed be the jungler here, as Pai will take that, will pick up that Camille for himself.
There we go, two setups that I really like for this second game. I really hope we're gonna have it's gonna be a little bit different, as I think the team of sorry, I think the team of last place Warriors has more like dispatched strength on this team, as I think on the other team it's gonna be very centered on Zoom.
Yeah, it's
I think they really want him, like, you know what, do your stuff, we're gonna help you.
Yeah, it's like, well, you did super well in the first game.
Yeah.
We're just gonna put all the eggs into the Zoom basket here, as it looks like even Snooze Diff is the one picking up the Karma there. by those last, like, no swap there happening. So it's like it will be a fasting Senna here actually, by the looks of it. That's like the iteration we see most these days, because it's just so much more efficient in order to stack these souls and to really get to those like 100 souls. That's usually the benchmark when the Senna becomes really strong. The problem in this scenario is on the other side of the rift, you have a Kaisa, and Kaisa against the fasting Senna, she's just super happy. Yes, she can get poked quite a bit, but like the kill potential is kind of lackluster on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, especially when you add the additional safety of a Thresh on top of it. So it's like, you can set her up for these kills or get her out there with the Dark Passage. And if that Kaisa is left like on her lonesome, and if we have another game that goes to like Eternity as the last one did, a Kaisa will be a lot stronger than a Tristana. If she gets ahead and she gets to 3, 4, 5 or even 6 items so quickly, there will be a lot of pain.
Yeah, let's see how this is going to roll out. I think the good thing about this composition they have is that Karma can, of course, very well farm under her tower, even if she's alone, because at some point I think this Senna, played by Philofid, is going to roam a lot in the jungle to get a lot of these stacks going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like the benchmark, if I'm not mistaken, is like you can take like 2 farm per wave you can take actually early on without like decreasing your soul gain overall. So they'll be looking to get her strong there too, but overall it will be our eyes will be peeled on Zoom and whether he can really pop off on that Yone. I haven't had a proper look at the summoner spells actually. I mean, just something like the Exhaust would make such a big difference in that case, as we're heading onto the rift, and once again we'll have an Ocean Drake that will be spawning first. So potentially looking at another Infernal Soul. That was certainly a big difference maker in that last game there too.
Okay, this time covering the every entrance of the jungle. They do not want this to happen again, as they got caught in the first game, Agon dying in the first minute.
Yeah. So welcome once again here for game number 2 in our second quarter final that's currently going on here in the Swisscom Hero League Season 5. We also have a quick update, by the way, from the other match that's taking place at the same time, where no org needed are ahead 1-0 and are currently in the second game against Horizon.
So, what we're gonna have in the pathing of the jungles, you think?
So far it looks like another blue start here from both of them. Quite interesting, especially here for the side of Dreaming, that he does not appear to look for like these early bottom side ganks, as that's certainly like the place where they can make the biggest difference here. I mean, Pi, he should just be fine on his Camille against the set, especially carrying that grasp of the Undying here. He can just stay pretty safe, go for these trades, really use her passive to the maximum effect, and should have a pretty good time here.
This time on the bot lane, we won't have Wolf King having this huge pressure available with the Tristana, so they're gonna have to play slower, and of course they might as well let them push in, so Dreaming could be a little more helpful this time.
Yeah, a big factor in this game will also certainly be the Seraphine. Chef on that champion, he does have a lot of potential to bully the Yone quite early on and also disengage away from him. He should stay quite safe in this matchup, just continuously push in the waves and not really enable him to roam at all, because as we can see here already, he's continuously taking quite a bit of poke coming out from the Seraphine. And then with the Encore, of course, you have that big kind of team fight ultimate coming out from her that can just immediately turn the tides of the game. As Pi is chunking out Quadra here quite a bit, and there you can already see Camille is doing quite well into the set, because Set usually is the kind of champion that wants to just go for these quick kind of burst trades and then get back out. In the meantime, Camille wants to do kind of the same, but can extend these trades a lot further. Plus, of course, she has her passive that will keep her safe for quite a bit.
This time we have the exact opposite scenario than we had before, but it's always the Morgana being on the blue side here, and they just can and know they can push in these waves in the bot lane and ensuring a huge pressure, but it's not enough for Wolf King to lose anything, as he's absolutely perfectly well keeping up with the farm.
Yeah, he can just sit back here and pretty much chill, as the cleanse there is being burned by Filler Feed already. Might have to turn off the chat there for a bit. But yeah, especially in the top side, like if this matchup goes even between Pi and Quadra, the Camille is of course at quite a heavy advantage, and also overall the scaling is just so much better on the side of the last place warrior. Yes, you have a Yone and the Senna who do scale super well. The Senna potentially even infinite, but just that these mid-game kind of power spikes, and then of course the potential late game for something like the Kai'Sa and the Camille, that's just something very scary to look at.
Okay, careful, this time you have to back off. You know you're pushed in, but this time Morgana is not around. It's the Viper Dreaming being here, and the flash is going out, but it's not gonna be enough to escape this. Wolf King being very low, but I don't think Filler Feed can take the kill. Double kill for this team.
First blood +1 on top of it all, punishing that bot lane early, but Chef will now pay the cross-map price here for it. Does manage to flash out. He does stay alive! He manages to get out there. Not quite enough damage coming out from the auto attacks from Agon, and therefore an even bigger win here for the side of the last place warriors.
That's why you eat your biscuits and your potions at the start of the fight, so you can eventually go out. Zoom here trying again using his ultimate, but there is not enough damage output to take down this Chef.
Yeah, also a big factor here, like that overall the last place warriors team comp does look very well rounded, and like their threats are kind of spread out a lot more rather than just having a Yone, essentially. They do have the additional benefit of, compared to like the previous matchup where it was also Morgana but against the Jarvan, Volibear is actually a champion.
Okay, careful here, UFO being on the fire of Agon, but
no
there's
flash.
the 3 versus 3, but it's split, and it's again here a mistake, I think, from last place warriors.
Dreaming deciding against chasing here. Coach UFO does manage to dodge away from that dark binding.
It's not gonna make it.
Dreaming now coming in, there's a flash now being burned, and Agon does pick up the kill. Meanwhile, Dreaming wants revenge onto a Filler Feed. He's like, ha, you thought I'm not gonna chase you down? Well, guess again.
Top fight. But not, cancelling with that ultimate, very well played from Quadra. The flash right into the wall, signing his death right there.
Yeah, quite an unfortunate flash there coming out from Pi, and a bit of a BM there for Quadra, but he did play that super well, as the Camille, while up in CS, is now down a kill, and that certainly does help Quadra, but I think he should really be careful, because once that Camille gets going and gets her Divine Sunder finished, which is what we're probably looking at this game, and picks up all that farm up there, she'll be a very scary opponent in those side lanes.
Right now, no significant difference on the bot lane, but mid we already have a little bit of offset here in the farm, but it's not that much. Dreaming here, waiting for Zoom checking in, but he's just enough time to go away.
Yeah, Zoom going in there, trying to chunk out the Volibear a bit, do as much as he can.
That's gonna be fast. Ignite has been used.
Look at the damage!
Is being taken down here. It's not over yet. Filler Feed might as well being caught here if he stays a little bit too long. That's quite the strange decision to do, but I think it's just gonna be enough.
Wolf King though!
Turn around!
Well, turn around or running it down? That's the question here. As Wolfgang overestimates himself there, does use the ultimate for that shield and wants to go in again. In the end, nothing being gained. There's the encore.
I don't know about this.
Zoom, you're in quite a bit of trouble. Does proc the Conqueror there and does manage to get out. Can they re-engage? Zoom going in here once again, and he does secure the kill onto Dreaming. Meanwhile,
and it's
Chef
not over yet. Agon
rooted.
locking Chef here, but Zoom is a bit far away, but he manages to take the double kill, and that's exactly what you want to do when you're Sunrise Enjoyers. You want this Yone on 2-0, of course.
Yeah, I already thought after that early action in the bot lane that the sun has set already for the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, but that's certainly not the case here, as quite a few mistakes here happening for the last place Warriors. Maybe it's some of that mental game from the last one.
A solo kill on top lane. Pi was engaging under his own turret on Quadra, but didn't manage to turn around again. I mean, we are again in what's 9 minute 30 and 11 deaths.
Yeah, and Quadra now, Quadra is 2 for 0 already, has also 3 turret plates collected already, and we're just approaching 10 minutes, so I think he can even get the first turret up there. And I mean, if the set's ahead, he's just so abusive. Here you can see that bot lane action again. Gray took their connecting also with the Ignite coming out right away, denying any kind of healing, and then this would have been a perfectly fine spot, just take it and leave, but Wolfgang, overestimating himself, does go in there with the ultimate. And yeah, the supercharge kinda has that, let's say, you have to get used to it, because while using the supercharge, you cannot auto-attack, and in this case
Zoom has no ultimate here. Not being available. He has to come back to his spot. He's dying on this one. Shutdown being taken here on Wolfgang, who's already on his 3rd kill.
Dreaming now, coming back up top. If you're watching this from home, this here is done by professionals. Never gank losing lanes in your solo queue games. Don't do that at home. Wolfgang now engaging onto Filler Feed, and that will certainly be the 4th kill here to the name of that Kaisa. And this is starting to look a lot like last game, where it's basically Zoom that's ahead, who's ahead by a landslide, and also Quadra, who's a very big factor. And then on the other side, you have Wolfgang. And the question now is, can they keep Wolfgang alive? Can they get him to those first 2 or even 3 items? Can I feed him some tower platings maybe as well? And can Pi, for once, stop dying?
On this time, we do not have a specific amount of deaths on the jungler, although Ferofeed is again a little bit behind on score with that, but I think this time we have that Sunrise Enjoyers being at the front, being leading this game on the gold aspect, and that's, I think, a big difference, because we had last place Warriors being ahead last time, and they managed to use this advantage and stay in game for longer, because we kind of have this 2 scenarios where we're thinking, okay, so first case scenario, Sunrise Enjoyers are kinda not making it, and it's gonna take a long time, and they need even lose to the macro.
Yeah, once again, Zoom here being in a lot of trouble here potentially, but does use the 3rd iteration of Q to get out of harm's way.
And on the other hand, you have this scenario where, you know, Sunrise Enjoyers, well, they're ahead, and as they're supposedly being a little bit on top on the skills, it should be enough, as Philo, Feed and Snooze are again being under attack. Teleport joining.
Wolfgang here nearly dying already, does get rooted up. Zoom is in there. Wolfgang managing to flash out.
Zoom didn't wait enough, I think, for his ultimate. There's nothing to get here, in my opinion. They should just leave it, but I think that's not what those teams are going to do anyway.
They're not about waiting at all. In the meantime, Quadra does secure the first turret there in the top lane, so even bigger lead coming in for him. And once again, it looks like he's gonna be a big carry factor for his team. Did opt for the Blade of the Ruined King right away, just in order to keep up that pressure. Also, it's already a 2-level lead over his opposition. But then again, you have Wolf King, who already completed the Kraken Slayer. So no Gale Force this time, but I said the Kraken Slayer. I'm not 100% sure on that choice either, by the way. Since in this game, mobility can certainly be primary against the likes of a Yone and against that Morgana potentially. But great flash here we can see once again from Wolf King to get out of harm's way, and then just disengaging Zoom, has to return there to his shadow. And in the meantime, you can see in the picture-in-picture the Herald that was deployed in the mid lane to get some more plating gold over to a Quadra actually.
Which brings that gold lead to 3k already for the Sunrise Enjoyers. 15 seconds for the first Drake. I think this time they're on spot trying for the second Drake, my bad. And they're not gonna leave it this time, in my opinion.
Yeah. Can Quadra finish his second item before Pi gets his mythic? That's gonna be the big question here for me. I'm gonna keep my eye on. Moonstone Renewer now being completed for Chef on that Seraphine, which is also a big power point for them. They do pick up that that Mountain Dragon, and once again it's gonna be an Infernal Rift here, and once again the potential here for Infernal Soul, with both teams having one dragon to their name currently.
Flash used from Agan to try a steal here. Sadly not working this time. Zoom might take this bot turret easily, as in the mid lane the two teams are kind of gathering.
Yeah, and now Pi, he's just no match at this point. But he finally realized, okay, it's probably not the healthiest idea to keep fighting against this one. Oh, Filler Feed here gets taken down again. So it's once again, it looks like not to be the Phil part this game again, as he does get eliminated. And yeah, that's just the thing with the Senna in the support position. You're not really, you don't have much impact before you really have those key components you need for that build, being the Kraken Slayer and I forgot the name of it, the knife for the Ginso's Rage Blade that you need in order to properly deal damage.
Quadra already hitting on the second tier turret, as and the bot lane we have Dreaming taking the farm. At least someone is, as we kind of used to, where nobody is actually setting up some slow pushes on the side lanes.
Yeah. And we see Pi here opting for the Trinity Force. Oh, good flash there for Chef in order to stay safe, but he does get taken out there by the Senna ultimate, and now they have to give up this tower here. No way they can still hold on to that. Wolf King also dropping quite low there and has to run for the hills.
Already 3 kills on this Senna, although she might be quite behind in terms of gold. She already slowly but surely dealing so much damage as she is stacking up. I didn't see the amount of stacks you already have on her. Quadra being here in a 2 versus 1. I don't think there's any chances he escapes
Quadra though.
that. But it was close.
Coach UFO waltzing in there and taking the kill onto Quadra as he gets finally shot down there. Wolf King though, with a ton of damage. That's just Kai'Sa for you in a nutshell, and with 7 kills, that's what she's gonna do to you. So if we look at the current game state, you have Quadra in the top lane, who's once again is ahead by a landslide. You have Pi with the Trinity Force instead of a potential Divine Sunder. That means in terms of side lane pressure, Quadra will keep the advantage for quite a bit, because he just has much more sustain between his W and of course the life steal of the Blade of the Ruined King. So I will need to wait for Pi to maybe pick up some lifesteal there as well. As Wolf King might now be caught out of
hitting that
guard.
cage, but careful, Wolf King is so big, you cannot take him down so easily, as he's taking 1 kill just before dying, followed by his support Evo.
Yeah, just a little bit greedy there, overextending quite a bit. But look at this, 8.5k gold already. So, but even though Quadra has even more gold at this point. So with all these platings and turrets going down, he managed to mass up quite the fortune as he's now heading into the top lane, into the bottom lane here, looking for that Seraphine.
She's hidden. You won't find her that way. On the top lane, we have Zoom trying to take down Pi. He has no ultimate left, but
good flash.
Just right enough to make a dash, forcing the flash from Pi and taking the kill.
Last second there, just before being reset to his original position. Also an interesting choice here to also opt for that Blade of the Ruined King first. I personally haven't really seen that much yet, but I also have to say that I'm not quite the admirer of the brotherly love that Yon and Yasuo share between them, and therefore I might not. I certainly haven't seen this build come out
Quadra going in, securing here an easy kill on this Seraphine played from Jeff. Teleport has been used here right after the back. Zoom coming in, ultimate not ready quite yet, but just enough time to take him down. And there goes Drake number 3 in favor of Sunrise Enjoyers.
Yeah, Chef wanted to give him an encore there, but Quadra, of course, didn't want to listen to music at all. So taking down the Seraphine there, as the gold lead has actually grown to about 6,000 gold here in favor of the Sunrise Enjoyers at this point. And Dreaming is camping in that bush. Quadra in the meantime though, he's just occupying them in the sidelines here. It's nothing they can do, and Wolf King does get taken out. What are you doing there, mate? That's just way out of position, and I think this might be a bit of that tilt coming in from the first game. As they're just falling further and further behind in this game, and Quadra, he's just such a menace in that side lane, and we could see it there. There's really no one who can match up against him. Even if there's two of them, it's just such a hard task to accomplish.
And there is already the damage from the Senna, but careful, she's being hooked there, dying instantly to the damage of Pi, as Quadra is already sneaking on this bot lane and trying to get this turret down. But I'm kind of surprised that the rest of the team is not pressuring anywhere else.
Yeah, Quadra's like, I'm fine, and Wolf King, and to meantime, does get taken out. Can he even get the second kill here? No, that will be the shutdown going over to Pi, but Wolf King falling once again here, this time to the hands of Quadra. That is definitely worth if you're the Sunrise Enjoyers. So more fun and more fun for them to be enjoyed, but on the side of the last place Warrior, it certainly does look a lot more dreadful than in the last game.
And this time Zoom finishing his mythic item, and now I think he has one huge power spike with that, and they might just as well go for 5v5 fights, forcing any objectives that might come to I think both are great choices, but Baron being the most obvious one.
Yeah, at this point you can just keep on shoving out these waves in top and mid lane, and Zoom now looking for another engage here on the Wolf King. Does reset, and that's a lot of lifesteal on that Yon, so he can keep top up quite handily there. And Quadra, he can just keep heading into that bottom lane, and they can just play the long game here on the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, because that Camille still does not even stand a sliver of a chance against a 3-item Quadra, who also still has a level lead and can just force her out of lane, keep on pressuring that bottom lane, and even threaten to take the inhibitor if not taken care of. And if they respond, which takes about 2 or even 3 people from the side of the last place Warriors, then you can just go for Baron and be happy.
Yeah, they have now this advantage of Quadra being so big they cannot defend him only with one person, so it's gonna need 2 man to stop this monster of destroying this inhibitor, and now is going to be the point where they can engage for Baron. Careful, Agon being hooked here. No Zonias available.
Great encore.
And there's the fight. It's too late. He's not going to join in. Quadra is just taking the inhib. Hope you guys can run because I'm not gonna help you. That's the message from Quadra. At least they should try to interrupt this Nash, but I do not think they can do it.
Yeah, filler feet falling here, and that's a very, very important events here happening for the side of the last place Warriors.
As Quadra is taking
diving
the kill, and now the pressure is so big, they have to go home. Is Snoostiff going to be able to stop this UFO from backing? No, he cannot do it. But I don't think Quadra is able to take the second turret as the minions are defending. But hey, that was such a good move from him. I think it was too late. He was right. There was no Zonias on Agon available, so no need to teleport. Let's just take this inhib and 1 turret.
Yeah, I mean that was the smart play there for Quadra. I mean, he knew he's super strong and he can just create that pressure, and it was always obvious that if you're not responding to him, you will give up that inhibitor in the bottom lane, which is a fine call to do, and especially when they got that perfect pick here in the mid lane. Look at Coach UFO's hook here, perfectly done onto Agons, and then the encore here connecting onto the Karma. Zoom there trying to peel away, but the slow and then the Hextech ultimatum seal his fate as well.
As we have here the teleport in from Quadra to trying to stall this dragon, and now Pi being very low. The fight is still going on. What's going on with Chef? Okay.
Chef has disconnected here. I expect we will have a pause coming up. That is, of course, quite unfortunate here, as that's double kill here being picked up by the Yone. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, this could this is probably just gonna be the game and the match here for the Sunrise Enjoyers. They do not have the minions in the base yet.
They're coming slowly,
quite fast. And I mean, there's just 1 Nexus turret remaining at 2/3 HP, so they can just take that down handily. And with that, we have our 4th semi-finalist here in the Swisscom Hero League Season 5, and that will be the Sunrise Enjoyers. Enjoy that sun while it lasts. The Rammus there in front of that sunrise between the towers. We can really marvel at it here once again. As yeah, it certainly has risen in their favor, and in the end they were just they were the superior team here in the second game. I mean, Wolf King, he did have a lot of kills to his name, but as it usually is as an AD carry in Season 11, yeah, yeah, tough times. Maybe some PTSD in there somewhere too. Overall, a 2-0 here. The last place where he certainly did put up a fight, showed some very good potential, but in the end, they had to concede to the overwhelming power that was the Sunrise Enjoyers squad here. I mean, the first game was certainly a nail-biter up until the very end, and the second game, they did have some potential, but in the end, Quadra on that set was just such a massive threat, and just pulling apart the entire map and everything that the last place Warriors could have potentially aimed to do. I mean, they had a very good macro coming into the first game. Objective control was their strong suit. They didn't really play around side lane pressure properly. They tried to accomplish this a lot more this game with that Camille pick, but just due to the fact that Quadra got so ahead in those side lanes, like back-to-back solo kills happening, taking down 3 turret platings early, getting first brick as well with like 5 entire platings to himself. That's just an insurmountable lead at some point, and you could see it there. While the Camille had a Trinity Force and a couple of scraps in her inventory, the set was already running around with those plated steel caps plus 3 fully completed items to his name, and at this point it just becomes so hard to put up a fight against him.
I think this second game we had the team Sunrise Enjoyers really like having the center of focus being on the individual skills, I don't think they made especially different or better decisions macro.
Yeah.
But I think they were maybe like on the mental aspect more stable, more certain, and more capable. And this time they didn't got caught. As you said, I think last place Warriors had a very nice macro decision making, although it was a bit passive in my opinion. But it was enough to hold. And even though you have like a Vayne that is scaling so immensely, and you give her such a start with a Gragas in front, the plates, as you said, the kills, everything, and yet they took so much time to finish this game, and they were so close to losing it even. But this time, I think on the side of last place, whereas there was less room for this macro being set up properly, as I think there was just too much to handle.
Yeah, it was overall. It just was a bit. How do you say? It was a bit too structured from the side of the Sunrise Enjoyers, because in the first game they were just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Argon, plus then also Argon being like a non-factor essentially in that game, just donating a couple of kills over. In this scenario, like the Morgana does fulfill a way better role, because it's a much more defensive pick. It also scales better. It does provide some supportive capabilities as well to get with the Black Shield and like your overall CC capabilities, and just makes a lot more sense in order to really set up your teammates for success. Plus then also Quadra was not on a pick that scales super late like that Vayne, which we saw work out like in the end, but it needed a lot of time to ramp up and get there, even though he approached like 100 CS lead nearly 20 minutes into the game, and Pi was really not really living up to what was demanded from him as a top laner, but still could make it work, because he was in that tank versus like full tank versus AD carry matchup, where you can just be like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna have fun this game, but I can just like sit back, try and farm as much as I can.
Yeah, and I know my purpose.
Exactly, which arguably I'd say he didn't really fulfill in the first game, and in the second game, once there like Quadra was really set up for success. He was like, okay, you have that set, you have like the not essentially counter matchup, but you have a lot of strength early on, and if the Camille will take these like invitations to brawl, you're very likely to win these. It comes down to a lot of skill, and in the end Quadra was supreme in that regard. Did get, as I said, did get the solo kill, did set up the waves properly. Then for some reason Pi also overextended, also beyond like a really big wave. Did get solo killed again. Absolutely. He got a ton of that, and from there on out it's just so hard, because you don't have time anymore. No. Because when you take down that Vayne, you always you have that death timer. She needs to go back to lane. You can set up vision in that meantime, because you're one man up. You have a lot more room and time to like get that space and establish control on the map. But if you have that crazy buff Vestayan running down one of your side lanes permanently, demanding attention from at least like 3 players from the last place Warriors, because otherwise he's just gonna take your entire base. What you gonna do? You don't have time. You can't set up vision. You have to make these kind of split-second decisions where you're like, okay, either we go for a fight now and then collapse on taking objectives, or we pull back, let them have space and respond to like the side lane pressure.
Yeah, and even at this point, I mean, that's what I think they kind of tried to do when they grabbed this Agon and went all in on the team, but it was just too late at this point, where even if you take these decisions, I mean, this set was so ahead in his game. I mean, there's no problem. You can take half of my team. And even take the Nash, I don't care. I'm gonna just destroy your whole base. And at this point, I think they started to try this kind of quick decisions, but too late.
Yeah, and also there in the end, maybe we'll have a look at it again a little bit later, where they also going for that dragon there. I mean, that was the third dragon, just the third dragon, I think. You don't need to go for that. In those kind of scenarios, you are behind, you are lacking significantly in terms of vision, you are behind in terms of farm. Just like sit back, collect some farm, let that dragon be a dragon. Like Soul Point isn't even in reach yet. You don't need to contest for that. But if you do, make sure you are on you have the higher ground and you can actually get something out of it, because if you don't, as happened there,
You're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, you're gonna pay for it, and in this case, you pay the highest price because you're just losing the game and therefore the entire series.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
We have another interview prepared here for you, ladies and gentlemen. One of our winners here from the Sunrise Enjoyers is done, because obviously the sun has set now for the last place warrior, so he finally has time to join us here live on stream and answer a couple of questions for us. So let's see if we can get the lovely gentleman on screen here with us. I think we're still setting that up in the background and getting prepared, as yeah, still trying to figure things out. But yeah, we now have all our 4 semi-finalists together, which are Mind Sanity, which are No Orc Needed, the Sunrise Enjoyers, and who did I forget? The Panda Lovers, of course. Very warm welcome, dear Snooze Div. How are you feeling? Finally got you on.
I'm feeling great. I'm still a bit exhausted from the first game. It was a really long game, almost 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's
so the second game, I just chilled a bit and played Karma and let my team carry.
Yeah, it certainly did look like it. Your support there probably not doing you much favors when he stuck to the second part of his name. How was your game plan coming into the second game?
Well, we knew we have really strong solo lanes, and so we just played around them, and Karma can support Set and Yon really well. And Karma Senna would in theory be a strong lane, but we overextended really hard, so the enemy bot got a bit fed. But yeah, I think top lane is probably our strongest player, so it made sense to play around him.
Yeah, really setting him up for success there. It didn't 100% work in the first game. What went on there? We tried to break it down from our side. It was quite a messy one also, 48 minutes with I haven't checked again, it's 80 plus kills. What went through your heads during that game?
Yeah, I'm sorry for the spectators for the first game. It was like a solo queue game. We had Wayne top, who died a few times on lane, and then also Draven, and we couldn't really play around the Draven lane. But we just relaxed and scaled, and we knew we could play fights better, even though we still threw a few fights. But the first game was really, could have turned out in either way. So it was not it was really close.
Yeah, we also.
If Victor got one more auto on the Nexus or 2, we would have lost. So
it really
we
was
do that again.
Down to the wire there. It was fun to watch, though, at the very least. If I can say that much. But it also was kind of interesting. We saw also TPs all over the place.
Yeah.
So now we just said you're making it. Made it into the semifinals. Now you only have 2 days to prepare. You'll be back live on stream on Friday, facing off against No Orc Needed. And for those viewers at home who are not following the teams as closely, these are the guys like Vis-a-Vis, which we've seen on the league before, Greenfire, Bando. I'm not sure again anymore about their mid laner, but they're a very potent lineup. So how are you guys looking against your upcoming opposition?
It will be really rough. We have to change a few things. I mean, we played against them in the qualifier and we lost pretty hard, I would say. But also, they kind of overextend a lot, like we do. And it will be for sure our roughest best of 3 we'll have. And especially Bando top lane, he won EO Masters, Greenfire jungle is really strong. Yeah, I don't know how we prepare for that in 2 days, but I'm confident we at least have a chance.
Anything from your side as well?
Yeah, I have a little question. Who are you gonna tease at most for the first game about what happened?
Tease.
Yeah, who
Sorry?
are you gonna blame? Let's say for what happened in the first game.
Well, I don't like to play my teammates. It was more of a communication issue.
All right.
I mean, we gave a few kills early, but that was not fundamentally the problem. I mean, Jarvan was a bit behind in early game, but then also later the communication was really bad when Jarvan engaged and we were like really far away and couldn't follow, and then he just died. And also I had to play really safe as Draven, because I kinda had to not carry, but I was really important, so I couldn't afford to die in the team fights. But I wouldn't blame it on anyone the first game.
So you took the games more seriously actually than there wasn't really so much space for fun. I mean, to relax, it was a tense game, right?
Yes, it was really tense. So we didn't troll. Even it looked like that. We really tried our best, but people got caught. Always. Also, Fresh got caught quite a lot.
One more thing.
So the mid laner and me, yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, the mid laner Zoom and me, we had to play really passive. We had low deaths. So we kind of had to take the team on the back. But Quadra, to be honest, Quadra really smurfed in the mid game. I think without his Vayne top, we wouldn't have managed to get to the late game.
It was certainly a big factor, like the gap between Quadra and Pi there. But in the end, yeah, that did manage or enable you to go all the way for the win. One more thing I'd like to pick your mind about is that Morgana jungle pick that we've come out in both of the games actually. So it was quite a bit contested. It's a pick that just surged into this new patch in like 11.8 with the changes to her Tormented Soil. We didn't really see it in any of the pro leagues during the regular splits and even in playoffs. What's your stance on that, and how it appeared to be a very important factor to your drafting? Like, what's your opinion on that kind of new pick?
Yes, it's really strong. It has a really fast clear, but what I think makes it really strong and competitive is that you can flex it. So if you first pick Morgana, the enemies basically cannot pick Blitzcrank, Naut or Fresh or something like that with CC on support, because you can just flex the Morgana to bottom lane on support role. But then our enemies picked support on third pick in the first game, so that was really confusing. I don't know why they did that. I think the strong thing about Morgana is the flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, was there any particular reason that in either of the games you did not opt for the Udyr? Is that just like a personal preference of the team, or do you not regard him as such a strong jungler anymore, now that Morgana is also there?
No, I think he's still really strong, top tier, but to be honest, our jungler just doesn't play a lot of Udyr.
Okay. Yeah, so with that, I think we are approaching the end of this interview already. Are there any final words you'd like to give, any shout-outs, any fans you'd like to greet, or maybe a little bit of banter to throw at your opposition coming up for Friday?
And no banter, I kind of respect them, but I want to shout out a few people. Shout out the Batu Nation, Let's Fights Discord, and thank you everyone for watching, and we hope that semi-finals won't be such a disaster.
Let's hope they're equally as enjoyable and a little bit less messy then. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your evening. A very warm congratulations again to you and your teammates for making it to the semi-finals, and we'll see you guys maybe back on Friday.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
There we are.
Great to get some insight there from the team that won this duel here too. So yeah, with that we are fastly approaching the end here of the night. We already saw 4 of our top 8 teams here play the past couple of days, which also now leaves us with only a top 4, of course, remaining, which are the Sunrise Enjoyers. Okay, we will have a look at the bracket in a couple of seconds. But I'm certainly very, very excited. It looks super promising. Also, the teams that we now have in semi-finals. I mean, in the past seasons, we've always had like one super strong team and then another one that looked strong, but it was like, okay, it will be these two in the finals, and those ones are like 70-30 or 65-35 favorite. Can like the underdogs take them down? Which I personally think, with the teams we got now being Mind Sanity, the Panda Lovers, No Orc Needed, and the Sunrise Enjoyers, could look quite a bit different. We heard it from Sioser yesterday. Mind Sanity, they regard the Panda Lovers as the second strongest team, and assuming they will be taking them down, they will probably be facing off against No Orc Needed in the finals. And we heard it there. I mean, you have Bondo in the top lane, who is an ERL player playing in U Masters. In the past, you have Greenfire, who has a lot of competitive experience. You have a Vis-a-Vis, who's just a super strong AD carry overall, and just an generally very well-rounded lineup.
Absolutely, and there we have what's going on in the upcoming days, as we are starting the semis on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock as well, and continuing the semi-finals on Friday.
Yeah, and then, of course, on the 8th of May, that's going to be a Saturday, we have our grand finals of Season 5 coming up, with all our games all across the board, starting with League of Legends, if I'm not mistaken, followed by Clash Royale, and finishing it off smoothly with CSGO. So everything packed into one day, and we certainly hope to get as many of you guys out there joining us. Unfortunately, still not live, but the players and us casters, we will have the opportunity to, of course, with the respective security measurements, will be able to be live there and see them on stage. So we'll have a bit of that atmosphere coming back, and also a bit of that stage factor for all of the players, which makes these tournaments all the more exciting.
Absolutely, it's going to be really enjoyable. There's games for everyone, so I hope you're gonna find your lot of games that you like to vision. And that's it for us tonight.
Yeah, remember to drop us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you'd like. It's at Strawberry Pie here for my colleague, and Don_Rigoni for myself. Also follow ESL Swiss for any updates, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night. Bye.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
Never gave a shit, real soul. Let it take a hit. Hey, who's getting high on emotion? Look around. People fight all their life for some peace. Yeah. Look around. Fancy cars and the smiles of the ocean. Purple skies that night color. Anywhere you wanna be. Anywhere you wanna be. Yeah. Hold up your sign. Lay down on that. Lay down on that. Lay down on that. Show what you gon' do. They don't wanna do. They don't wanna do. They don't wanna do. Take off. Rush at the rush. Take off. Rush at the rush. Rush. Take off. Rush at the rush. So I got one. Stop saying you're a boss when you're not one. You ain't sacrificed now, you ain't lost none. All over the gram like you got a bag. You ain't big dog, we ain't hear none of that. I'm in the gym looking like a running back. And you know the flow got 'em coming back. Who I was in the past, I'm on the task. Only focus in this moment is bringing the summer back. Oh, respect my grind, elevate souls and I spread good vibes. Young divine, you know I gotta shine. Raise your hands for a good time. Alright.
Live until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said there's a warning, so
So what? I'm so That means I can't describe the way I vibe, the way I slide it with the rhymes that make the dimes all close their eyes and fantasize. I'm divine, calling their phone number. Girl, you know I love you. And you know me, I can't sleep without blazing beats. I'm stages, but everyone's gracefully. And I got a smile that they hate to see. Young, black, successful, though life gets stressful. Though life gets stressful, go and vibe out with whoever you next to.
Vibe until the morning, sleep until the noon. You said that you wanted, so I got it for you. Let's all get together and show them how we move. We move, we move. Bringing summer to you.
Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know how we roll. Let's take it around the world and back again. Ready, let's go. 'Cause you know, like I know, we'll take it round and round again.
Ay, push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard, yeah. I'm killing your favorite rapper, it's minimum effort. Yeah, your corpse getting severed. The industry dry, it's a desert. Do whatever it is that you think that you're doing, I'm doing it better. Straight double use, that's my letter. Don't got no snakes, only ladders, ayy. They tryna figure out what's on our plate. Infinity sideways, we already ate. Skipping this basic, skipping this classes. Stay out of trouble, now I can relate. Nevertheless, again, I'm doing great. I just finished this thing, ain't no debate. You ain't my dog, you ain't my family, and sure as hell, you're not my mate. Yeah, I take my place at the summit. I can't wait till we counting them hundreds. I cannot lie, I ain't rich, yeah, but when I say my time coming, it's coming. And some of y'all got ahead of me, to be honest, I wasn't even running. But very soon I'ma run it. I demand it, man, I want it. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay. Live it up. Cause it's fake, better give it up. Young, but I feel like I've seen enough. Numbers going up, better keep it up. Ain't slowing down, better live it up. About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. What? About too hard, ayy. About too hard, ayy. They not gon' like this, don't like surprises. I cause a crisis, man, I'm a scientist. With the music I spice things, up to my liking. Man, I want nice things, nice things. That's not an AK, it's a Uzi. I pull up and shoot it to movie. I'm chasing the bag, not a coochie. Cut ties with the fake, now it's Gucci. Word of my niggas from the 021. You count 6 shots and I count 2 guns. Some people still think I rap just for fun, but soon they look up to me just like the sun. Yeah, you can come over here. Swear it's like no career. Swear you got no idea. Soon you'll have no career. Take a good look in the mirror. They need to know that I'm here. Don't you act like it ain't clear. Yeah. Push start, ayy. Ball so hard, ayy. Raise the bar, ayy. Turn into a star, ayy. Play my part, yeah. I aim too far. I do it big. I keep it large, okay.